Gauri Singh, currently the Deputy Director General at the International Renewable Energy Agency or IRENA, has spent over 3 decades navigating the complexities of bureaucracy and development. Her approach has skillfully integrated the implementation of large-scale standardized programs with tailored local practices and systems, ensuring both consistency and adaptability. You're listening to Fail Loud, a series that draws insights from failures in the development sector, brought to you by Selco Foundation's Impact Failure platform. In this episode, we are diving into the reflections of Gauri Singh, a career bureaucrat who has helmed many large-scale interventions for national and state governments, as learned from her address at the Impact Failure Conclave 2018. One of Gauri Singh's most compelling anecdotes came from her time as Additional Chief Secretary in the Madhya Pradesh government, specifically in the Department of Panchayat and Rural Development. When a scheme designed to provide free medicine, diet, and diagnostics was being rolled out. Initially, this initiative seemed successful through the feedback received from implementing district health officers, with metrics indicating increased service usage. The team was diverse and working with different motivations.
It seemed like an extremely good idea to try and move forward with it because it was something that was going on well. But when you start digging into it, then you start realizing why on the surface it looks like a very good intervention, but the agendas that drive it at the level of implementation are so completely different. For example, our district heads of health, which we call CMHOs, were very happy with this. And, they'd give you a feedback, this is going so well, everything's, it's the feedback mechanism which comes to you is so biased that you just feel that you're going on the right track. If you don't have an ability to understand people, their motivations, whether their motivations are aligned with what your thinking is, whether you have actually taken into account stakeholders and what their feelings about creating a policy intervention is, you can go wrong at so many levels. And I think it's important at that point of time to have a team of people who have the flexibility and the understanding to realize that you're really going off track and you need to come back on track. And that's something that at least in the government, it's very hard to get because especially if I talk about the kind of positions that I've held, you do have a set of colleagues who would, in front of you, they would be very happy to just say that whatever you're doing is the best. And that kind of a feedback mechanism puts you in a space that you think that you're going in the right direction and you fail to read the signals as you move along. To be able to have in your team people who can have an alignment of objective and can come back and tell you about what is really happening on the ground is, I think, critical. And the ability to recognize these people and have them on your team is more so. If I talk about some of the implementation failures that I've seen, what I've learned is that sometimes when you don't realize what are the agendas that are driving the other stakeholders, you can actually end up designing a very supply-driven kind of a intervention. Whereas the agenda or the need of the people that you are actually designing it for it's a completely different set.
In a complex machinery like government systems, it is challenging to dissociate metrics that truly capture the implementation on ground and reflect social change. Frameworks that are more inclusive of qualitative nuances can help it do better. Gauri Singh recounted her experience with the Mera Haspatal or My Hospital initiative, which aimed to improve patient care at government hospitals. However, collecting meaningful feedback proved challenging in large hospital settings. Patients found it overwhelming to navigate these environments and often struggled to provide insights about their experiences with doctors. The feedback loops were focused too heavily on cleanliness at hospitals and drug and diagnostic availability, rather than patient-doctor interactions. The kind of feedback crucial to assess the impact of such a program.
If you're a patient, can you really think that even if when we go to these very large hospitals, how difficult it is to come out of that setting and give a feedback on how the attitude of the doctor was? Because of the kind of setting that you operate in makes the feedback very, very difficult.
What emerged as key elements in both the anecdotes is the value brought by effective teams and feedback mechanisms across the stakeholder landscape.
What you're looking at in a social setting is probably you're not looking at the quantitative feedback. What we should be focusing on is much more on a qualitative feedback mechanism. I think it's very, very small qualitative feedback and digging deep in to understand what's really going wrong, which might be just talking to a few people, but going to that level of depth that you can actually figure out what is going wrong with the system and make systemic changes.
Through Gauri Singh's address, we learn that while effective feedback mechanisms are essential, they are also difficult to establish in larger systems like the government. And the means to solve these challenges are through people and teams who have the flexibility and the understanding to know when you're going off track from the mission and have the agency to influence course corrections. Selco Foundation invites organizations and individuals to come forward and share their impact failure stories and to fail loud.